Hello there, greetings everybody. I want to welcome you here to the Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show, a show dedicated to progressive rock and other forms of rock music. So we're here to do an episode of What's New. I do this every Saturday night in which I pick an album that's come out in the year 2025 and we talk and I kind of give the details on it, break it down a bit, talk a little bit about the album, what I like, what I don't like, that kind of thing. And the jackhammer and the drilling guy has gone home for the day, so I don't expect there to be any more interruptions. I do apologize for the cancellation of the um, live stream I was supposed to do this morning. But you wouldn't have been able to hear nothing, not with that. It was kind of frustrating. And then I tried to do the um, Battle of the Masterpiece albums, and even that was kind of hard to do, but we got through it. So I do apologize for that. I was unaware that the guy would be doing this since nobody told me anything about it. But I'm going to reschedule that episode for next Saturday morning at the same time. So you'll see the video will come up for that. Probably tomorrow, I would think. I probably don't have time today. I've got too many things to do, but I will do that and put it up for tomorrow, and hopefully we don't get the same repeat next Saturday. Hopefully the guy's done whatever it is he's doing. I wasn't expecting it on a Saturday morning. So, anyways, without further ado, we're going to go on to this album. The album that I've chosen for today's What's New is from Echolyn. They're an American progressive rock band. They released two albums on the same day this year. One is called Time Silent Radio 2, which is the one we're doing. And then we will next week do the other one, Time Silent Radio, I believe it's 7. So I'm not really sure why the 2 and the 7. I guess I could read up and find out, but until then, we're going to go with the number 2 one today. So this was released March the 7th, 2025, same as the other one. They're both released the same day. I was at the Chateau Fornac and Catapult Sound and Selbyville studios. It's about 45 minutes, only about 45 and a half minutes long on the Time Silent Radio label. I believe that's what it's called. Maybe I'm wrong, and somebody will point that out because it sounds kind of funny that it's the same title as the album. So I didn't see anything to indicate anything else, though. So hopefully somebody will chime up if they know differently. Production by Brett Cull, member of the band, and mixed and mastering by Glenn Rosenstein or Rosenstein. I don't know which way he pronounces it. So the members of Echolyn are Christopher Busby, keyboards and backing vocals, and lead vocals as well. Um, oh, sorry, just backing vocals, not lead vocals. My apologies. Brett Cull on guitars, lead and backing vocals. Ray Weston on bass and lead and backing vocals. And Jordan Perlson on drums and percussion and backing vocals as well. There are only two tracks on the album. They're both lengthy. One of them 16 and a half minutes in length, the opening track, and the second track is almost 29 minutes in length. So only the two tracks. The opening track has four suites into the blue and green, the air of Ivy Hill, Emerald Garden, and Forever Evermore. Those are the four suites on the album. The second track, Water in Our Lands, has parts 1 through 6, I believe. So I didn't break them down into their parts. I didn't go that far. Just basically talk a little bit about what I heard. So this is a very progressive band, obviously. Now, most of you who know me, I tend to not be as much into American progressive bands, but there are some exceptions to the rule, and Echolyn is one of those exceptions. The music is quite good. It's complex. It's clear. The production of this particular album, very good. The vocals are clear sounding, both the backing vocals and the lead vocals. The one lead vocal is a little bit of the medium side, a little bit high end at times, but the other guy a little deeper in the mix. His voice is a little bit deeper, but their use of backing vocals is good. Their use of harmony vocals is also good. Um, all of the instrumentation is quite well done. You've got some really good guitar stuff. The bass is a little bit more forward in the mix than I thought it would be. The drums are very good at not super complex, but apropos for the style of music that they're playing here. The use of the piano, very well done, I think, throughout the album, um, giving it that kind of classic sound. I think the piano really kind of leads it to that classic sound. They do use keyboards quite a bit in the on the album, not as much on the synthesizer. So I wouldn't suggest that this is a symphonic prog album. Not at all. I don't think it falls in that line at all. It's just a really good, progressive, detailed, complex musical, um, progressive rock album. Um, Kind of reminds me a bit of some of the Finnish prog bands out there. Sounds very kind of traditional in its sound, but also doesn't sound as 70ish as some of the other prog bands. This one's more up to date sounding, clear. The clearness is absolutely brilliant on this album. So I'm gonna break down the two tracks. The first one is called Time Has No Place, and like I said, it has four suites. I didn't break them down into suites. I'm just going to talk about the music as I see it. So it kind of opens with this heavy, complex, and detailed part to it, musical part to it. Clear and very excellent production, as I've already said. Vocal harmonies are good, strong, and very forward and dominant in the mix as well. Lead vocal parts are clear, and on this particular song, very moderate in sound, not too high in the mix and not too low in the mix, just pretty good sound throughout that particular track. The guitar part is strong, frontal, and the lead parts are interesting. They're not melodic, kind of sound like Pink Floyd or nothing like that. They're just very um, they're slow at times, but fast at times as well. Very interesting. They don't really remind me of any other band, really, to be honest. The use of the piano is timely, as I said, giving that kind of classical feel at times to the particular song and this particular song. The drum parts are frontal and heavy as well, like not overly complex enough, but not overly complex, but very frontal in the mix as well. Um, there is a slow melodic part, which is very good, and the piano suits it really. I really love the piano on this particular track. So I like that track, but I think the second track, in Our Land," "Water in Our Hands," not lands, "Water in Our Hands," um, which is another 10 or 12, 13 minutes longer than the opening track and has parts one through six, sorry. I like this track a little more. I'm not quite sure why. I think it's the vocals. The vocals are a little deeper. They do have some high parts to them, but they're on the whole, I found them a little bit deeper. Um, it starts out with this kind of cosmic, spacey synthesizer opening, and then is quickly followed with a heavy bass and drum part, or a rhythm part if you prefer. I like the picking of the guitar. It has an interesting sound to it. It's not your typical picking sound, almost an acoustic sound to it. The vocals are clear, but not as frontal as the first vocal. It's also a little bit deeper in the mix. Um, the backing vocals kind of add some depth to his vocal sound, giving him a more robust, thicker sound to his voice. Uh, This is a smooth sounding track too. It doesn't have any stopgap or peaks or valleys. It just kind of smoothly rolls around. The instrumentation is very good, um, and the production is also, like I said, very good. Harmony vocals are strong on this track. And I think they come on maybe, I think it's maybe three times, two for sure, I think there's a third time where there's some harmony vocals here, which I think add to the complexity of the album. Also give it a more of a what's the word I'm looking for? More of a, well, it gives it that prog sound, but also gives it more of that harmonic vocal sound too. Um, the guitar on this part is quite heavy, with a catchy kind of keyboard patchy part at the back, kind of giving it some depth to it, I guess is the best way to put it. Yeah, it's a very epic vocal musical sound throughout this particular track. I like this track better. Not really sure why. I think there was a couple of more of a catchy kind of rhythmatic sound to it at points in time, which were interesting. It's not, neither of the tracks is super memorable, but um, and part of that is because they're so long. They're very long tracks. So I've discovered there's a saturation point for me with a long track. So tracks that are 3 to 4 minutes have to be more kind of catchy riffs and stuff like that to hold my attention. I tend to be at a saturation point at around between 8 and 12 minute long songs tend to really be among my favorite songs. Once they start getting over the 12 minutes, unless they're really exceptional, like Close to the Edges, they don't tend to hold on to me as long. And that's the case here too. And it's not that they're bad songs. I suspect that listening to these tracks a lot more, like playing it, putting it in my playlist and listening to it more regularly would strengthen my feeling about the song and also give me a longer memory with it. But overall, I think it's a very strong album. I'm interested to see how their second album goes because I know that the setup on that album is a bit different. They basically have 7 or 8 smaller tracks. When I say smaller, smaller than 16 minutes, they got a couple of 8 minutes, or might even be a 10 minute one there. I can't remember. But um, I like their music. I like their vocals. I like their use of their instrumentation. I like the fact that they're not too symphonic at all, using the synthesizers sparsely. The use of piano is good with them. I like the way in which the songs are smooth in transition from one part to another. They're not choppy at all. So, anyways, I hope you like this album. I hope you like this review. If I was going to compare this to anything else, I would say it compares relatively well to some of the Finnish epic sidelong kind of prog stuff too. Stuff like the the Tales of Chronicles of Father Robin. Can't get it out, right? The Chronicles of Father Robin. It's all in there, but all mixed up. So, and it was kind of like that. The voice isn't anything like it, and that the songs are different, but kind of in that same style, I think. So if you like that, you'll probably like this too, I think. Anyways, I hope to see you all next week for the second album. We'll do the second album from Echolyn next week. I hope to see you all then. So please enjoy the evening. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe. If you want to make any comments about the album, about Echolyn, about the band, or anything you want to say, you can put those in the comment section below. And we will see you all next week. So have yourself a good night and take care, and goodbye from Prog Monster.